Match day 5 in MLS Next Pro takes us to Kansas City, Missouri for some Western Conference action. Sporting Kansas City 2 welcomes in the Loons, Minnesota United FC2. Hello family, I'm James Hadnot. Thank you so much for joining us for this matchup in MLS Next Pro. And Minnesota is a team that is off to a fast start in 2025. They've won their first 2 matches, and for Sporting Kansas City, they're fresh off their first 2 points of the campaign, finding a way back from being down 2 goals to the reigning champions, North Texas SC, last time out. They were on the road, but they showed great grit. And here's the 11 for Istvan Urbani on the afternoon. 4 changes for SKC: Ryan Ariano, as well as Johan Ortiz, Anthony Samways, and a new man in goal for SKC. Ryan Shayway will make his debut on the season. And now flipping to Minnesota United FC2, a team that, as mentioned, has won in differing fashions. They won late versus Austin in their opener and came with a big-time win, 3-1 over Houston in their last match. And we take a look at their lineup for Coach Hall, and they will play a 3-4-3, and they make just 1 change from that win over Houston. Babacar Niang makes his first start of the season. He's coming back off of injury in the midfield, and so Coach Hall said he's going to play about 30 minutes today, and rather than play him later in as a substitute when the situation could not be beneficial for him, he'd rather play him from the start, let him get going after a fresh warm-up, and see how things go for the remainder of the match. Niang, of course, played at Wake Forest prior to being drafted by Minnesota last season, missed the season before rehabbing, and now is excited to be a part of 2025 for Minnesota United FC2. For Sporting Kansas City, a lot of young talent throughout this side. And Beckham Uteritz is a player to watch out for as this match goes on. He's very creative and can really activate the offense for Sporting Kansas City. SKC in their navy blue tops, navy blue shorts, and Minnesota in the sky blue kits on the road. This is one of 5 straight matches away from home for Minnesota. SKC looking to find their first points at home this season. Drew Klemp blows his whistle, and we begin from Children's Mercy Victory Field in Kansas City, Missouri. SKC 2 and Minnesota United FC 2 dueling in the Western Conference. Early, the captain, Cello Tshantrit, sends the ball out wide to Beckham Uteritz, looking for Maloon Gumbale. Gumbale had a pair of assists last time out in the draw with North Texas SC. And Gumbale playing in the number 9 role, something that he is not used to. He played in that role in the opener versus Houston, and it was something that Coach Istvan Urbani said that he is trying to gain more comfort in playing. Does have the pace to play in that role, but not used to playing with his back to goal. Much more comfortable playing as a winger. So that will be something to watch with him playing, especially with Minnesota playing in their 3-4-3. They'll like to get up and down. And talking with Coach Hall of Minnesota earlier today, he shared with me that the reason they played with a 5-man back line was due to just who was on the roster for that opener, but would like to play a 3-4-3, would like to be wide, and is going to challenge Kieran Chandler and DJ Taylor, the captain, to get up and down the field in the wide areas. Ball slipped out wide towards Chandler, but he cannot get to it as it will roll out for a goal kick. Jack Kortkamp and Jacob Molinaro, the 2 goalkeepers who have played prior for Sporting Kansas City. Ryan Shayway making his first appearance of 2025 for SKC. Both Kortkamp and Molinaro, 2 homegrowns. Ford Camp, who's on a first-team contract, Molinaro, who just recently signed with the second team, but comes from the academy. So Shayway getting his opportunity to show what he can do in between the pipes this afternoon. Nice slippery move by Ariano. Now to Shantrit. Cristiano decides to work back towards Clark. That is a trip of Gael Quintero, and a free kick taken quickly by SKC. In goal for Minnesota is Wessel Spiel. This three-man back line. Three center backs for Minnesota. Kisa Kingi, along with Britton Fisher and Devin Padelford. Padelford, the first teamer from Minnesota. All played direct to Chandler. Sends the ball into the box. And not a lot behind that shot from Loic Massanvi. Massanvi believed that ball was off of Leroux. Logan Dorsey had that last shot. Chandler. That ball is off of Ortiz. Ariano sends the ball out. Now Cristiano plays into Ortiz. Minnesota getting numbers behind the ball. Kisa Kingi, a diagonal ball looking for Massanvi. Now the ball slipped in. Shayway gets his hand to it. Control. The shot is high and out by Babacar Niang. And you see when you have an opportunity to pick your head up, trying to play direct, that second ball worked right back to Darius Randall. And the cross required. Shayway, he was quick, pushed it out. Foul in near midfield after two players were tangled up. Minnesota has possession, looking to win their first 3 matches for the first time since their opening season in MLS Next Pro. Padelford, Chandler, Nice back heel as Chandler was trying to retrieve the ball from Masanvi. Ariano moves the ball central into Shantrit, off to the left side. Minnesota wants to start out on the front foot. They've been off for a week and a half like SKC. Gumbale, not enough speed to beat Britton Fisher to the ball. Minnesota coming off their win versus Houston. 3-1 win over Dynamo Dos. Different goal scorers. Darius Randall, somebody that Minnesota is very high on, a teenager. Their draft picks from last season, Logan Dorsey, also scoring. For SKC, coming from behind, took the lead versus North Texas in their last match and then found themselves down 3-1, but showed amazing fight on the road to draw level 3-all and then earn the extra point. Jacob Molinaro had 2 saves in the shootout to earn the extra point on the road versus the reigning champions. And Coach Urbani said that it was just a great feeling after that match. And the emotional part of the game is extremely important. Uteritz trying to track this down. He was offside in the initial buildup. For SKC, trying to build on that, wants the team to come out with a lot of fire. The captain, Cello Tashantrit, shared with me that going into the last match, he told the team that a loss is unacceptable, and we cannot come out without points and without gaining a result. And when asked what he needed to do this match, he said, we have to have the same mentality as we did versus the reigning champions, fighting for every loose ball and not accepting defeat. Chandler is upended, and a free kick is coming for Minnesota. As this direct ball came to Chandler, he was first to it, tried to go around the defender, and Anthony Samways is the guilty party. Chandler kind of holding at his left leg right now, and we'll have to walk things off. Set pieces, always important, can change the fabric of a match. This ball coming towards the back post, and Shayway gets 2 paws to it. Taylor all the way back to the goalkeeper, Spiel. Randall loses possession. Ball won quickly back, however, by Minnesota. A chance to attack, and attack fizzles out for Minnesota. Kansas City trying to play direct. Nothing there in the end. One thing to note playing here in Kansas City is how the wind can be a factor. Ariano into Tashantrit, and he has a chance to track forward. The captain, Tashantrit, cannot go around Kingi. Throw-in coming for Minnesota. You can hear Coach Hall, once the triggers have happened, wanting his team to move much quicker in the press. And right there, as the ball found Tashantrit with lots of green grass to operate in. That is not going to be what Coach Hall of Minnesota wants to see from his side. This quick passing is something he likes to see. Ball comes in. It's cleared away by Kansas City. Niang. Tapped out wide towards Taylor. Randall. Play switches to Padelford, the homegrown. Into Dorsey. He loses possession. This portion of the match is presented by Central Bank, the official checking account partner of Sporting Kansas City and the official jersey front partner of SKC2. We near a quarter of an hour gone. Ortiz commits the foul. And now Ortiz is down. As this ball comes into Niang, he's obviously fouled, but it's on Niang getting up, where Ortiz felt he received some contact. It's now a deep free kick for Minnesota. Ball lifted towards the back post. Sheway comes charging out for it. Throw in for Minnesota. Ball comes quickly back into Niang. Fisher's cross is blocked. Now off the turnover. Ariano is racing forward. Samways. What seemed like something promising. Samways slips to Gumbale. And it will be a goal kick. Kansas City has not had a lot of possession. That's what you see from time to time. Playing in this mid to lower block. Concede the possession to keep things tight and compact towards goal. Poor ball, and it comes out of play.
DJ's on. Good whistle.
With the lack of pressure put on Minnesota, they will take their time. And these center backs can pick their heads up. This ball comes over the top. Taylor is deemed offside. But that's what Minnesota wants to do. They want their wingers to get up and down the field. So DJ Taylor and Kieran Chandler, both down the left and right flank, have opportunities in this offense to get behind the defense and then play those balls into finishers like Logan Dorsey, Loic Missanvi, and Darius Randall. And with how Kansas City is currently defending, that is going to be open for the time being. Loic Missanvi into Darius Randall. Kansas City does have numbers behind the ball. Has not stopped the attack. Ball's flicked in. Niang, a nice header out to Chandler. Padelford. Ball comes back. No one is there. 20th minute of action. No score between Minnesota and Sporting Kansas City.
Just play. Get there early. Get a response early.
Kansas City yet to take a shot to date. Minnesota with 2 shots. And what has been a quiet first 20 minutes for both sides. Possession really dominated by Minnesota. Kansas City has had really none of the ball up to this point. Now Gumbale runs out of possession rather quickly. Off this deflection, it will skirt all the way to Sheway. Another bad giveaway. Now Gumbale, not a bad ball. This shot is stopped. Gael Quintero took the shot. It was blocked away by Spiel. Now Dorsey. And it looked like Sheway just got a hand to that. Just as I mentioned how quiet this match has been. Somebody's turned the volume up for the moment.
You're good right there.
This ball rolls out. This portion of the match is presented by Children's Mercy Kansas City, the official healthcare partner of Sporting Kansas City. Moments ago, we saw the first shot from SKC. Logan Dorsey had his shot blocked by Ryan Sheway. To Shantrit, the captain. The first goal in the last match versus North Texas before Johan Ortiz and Gael Quintero had 2 goals in the second half in the comeback. A little push there. As we see this last chance, Quintero, not the best effort as it was blocked away by Spiel, and then Leroux unable to really control it with Dorsey breathing down his neck. And Dorsey, who's a certified goal scorer, led Kentucky last year in goals. 2025 MLS Super Draft pick of Minnesota. Had it on target, but it was blocked away by Sheway.
Together. Get to half. You're keeping them on, Fish. Early, face more depth.
One thing for Kansas City, especially with what they've been able to do up to this point, is trying to be more connected in the back. They felt giving up goals to Houston, giving up goals to St. Louis earlier in the season, and 2 matches where they gave up multiple goals outside of North Texas. They just weren't connected in the back. That's due to, of course, new players, a short preseason, just trying to figure things out early on in the campaign. But make no mistake, Captain Chelo Tashantrit and head coach Istvan Arbani did not want to make any excuses. We've seen with a much compact style to date, there hasn't been a lot of space for Minnesota to operate, although they've had a lot of possession. Masanvi. And now the ball comes in, and we speak about the space in behind. DJ Taylor rises up and scores for Minnesota. Beautifully done as Chandler dropped a dime to the back post. Masanvi on the turn, slipped it back out wide. A chance to pick his head up for Chandler, and that's a beautiful ball to the back post. And DJ Taylor dispatches it for the goal.
Minnesota goal scored by number 27, DJ Taylor, in the 25th minute.
So Minnesota takes the lead 1-0 on top of Kansas City. And that is the trouble when you're playing in that low block, but not getting to the ball. If you give a player, especially like Kieran Chandler, the opportunity to pick his head up and place the ball in, he's going to find the target. And those were the 2 players to watch for Minnesota, Chandler and Taylor. They have a high work rate. They have to get up and down the field in the wide areas, but we just saw how they've been able to connect. And right there, the yellow card shown to Cristiano for the challenge. So Cristiano goes into the book. And we'll have to be careful staying in that left back position for the remainder of the match. And now with DJ Taylor already on a goal and Darius Randall, a big body, attacking down that flank, Cristiano will have to be very careful. Taylor keeps possession into Randall. He's slicing through. Randall's shot right back at him. Now call of, and that will be a corner for Minnesota. So Kurt Koloff earned that corner. Kieran Chandler, who just earned the assist, will place it for Koloff. Coach Hall says Koloff is amazing in regards to his ability to place the ball exactly where it needs to be. Into Dorsey, returns to Koloff, flips it in, it's punched down, and taken back by Dorsey, and then taken away by Tashantrit. Ortiz is needing some time to get up on the sideline.
Get him up. Good Louis, good Kalo. Keep going, get the half. Good carry. Good Darius.
Leroux lifts this ball, looking for Gumbale, but Maloon Gumbale cannot keep the ball in play. And the press forcing a turnover by SKC. Taylor wins the race in the air. The second ball won by Samways.
Face forward. Don't get stopped. Face forward. Go foul.
This ball comes out, and this will be the day for Babacar Niang. So just as Coach Hall said, about 30 minutes and almost 30 minutes to the second. Niang will come out and Aiden Martinez will come on. So a good spell for Babacar Niang coming off the injury. There's so many important parts of playing MLS Next Pro for a guy in Niang who was a draft pick last year out of Wake Forest, injured himself, and now is looking for an opportunity to find the field. It's excellent to see him play his full 30 minutes without any problems. Found himself on the ball once or twice. Ariano ends up on the pitch. This portion of the match is presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield Kansas City, the official healthcare insurance partner of Sporting Kansas City. SKC finds themselves behind by a goal. They have been behind in every match this season. Nasanvi commits the foul on the sideline. Samways right into Ortiz. Now Ariano looks to go for the ball. Dorsey. Kingi. Now the goal scorer, DJ Taylor. Minnesota relieves the pressure that was put on by Kansas City. And back to a very comfortable space where they've been all day in possession, operating. Wonderful ball. Chandler sends it into the box. Cleared away by Leroux. Martinez, his first couple of touches since coming on for Niang. Fisher with his eyes up, finds DJ Taylor.
Play the right way. Don't be casual. Higher fish, step in. Inside.
Ball comes down to Aiden Martinez. Receives it back from Dorsey. Kingi into Dorsey. Left behind. Still a chance. And the deflection ends up off of Kansas City for a corner. Already seen something off the training ground. Logan Dorsey ran up to receive the ball short and went back to Kolov. This will be Kieran Chandler to take this corner. Has the assist already on the goal by DJ Taylor. In swinging ball. Headed back high. Ortiz looks to head it away. Has not been cleared just yet. Now completely cleared. And will trickle out for a throw. It's been a very dominant half by Minnesota up to this point. Just one shot from Kansas City, minimal possession for the home side. Minnesota has had just less than 59% of the ball on the day. They have had the more cleaner opportunities, have been very controlled. But there's really just been minimal pressure from Kansas City. Padelford over the top. Masanvi still with it. And offside was the decision.
Just move on. Just move him every time. Inside first. Good run, Dorsey. Step in now, Fish. Step in, with you.
Taylor can't connect with Darius Randall. Fisher sends the ball back into the final third, but Logan Dorsey was offside.
Get away! Good, go ahead, Kieran, go ahead. Good, Dev, excellent, Dev. Well done, Dev. Hey, come on. Go. Watch them.
Who can create for Kansas City? That's going to be the question. Ball comes into Ortiz. Uteritz, nice move around, and Beckham Uteritz just wide of the mark. He is the creator, and Uteritz almost was the goal scorer as the angle was cut down. But Johan Ortiz is the man that laid it off. And in talking with Coach Urbani about the different dynamic players on his squad, he said that Ortiz is definitely one of them. He's just a good footballer, is the quote from Coach Urbani. He knows where to be and when to be, has great spatial awareness. And in regards to Uteritz, who had the first goal of the season back versus Houston, he said that Uteritz is a player that came in as a trialist and really showcased his ability. And it quickly was understood that he was one of the better players trying to make the squad, and has already had other teams, other agents calling about him.
Good dive, good dive. Go ahead, go ahead. Send it across. Send it across. Done, fella.
That is out off of LaRoe and should be a throw-in for Minnesota as we are nearing the 40th minute of action. And Minnesota continues to control, leading by a goal. Johan Ortiz was a player that was signed to play at the University of Portland before signing his second-team contract to stay with Kansas City. He was a player that a lot of different reporters around the area said definitely needs to stay with Kansas City. Padelford playing pass, but to Ryan Shaway, the goalkeeper. The long throw does not start a run. It turns into a turnover. Taylor cutting back, looking for Dorsey, but was unsuccessful. And Uteritz too heavy, or check that, Cristiano too heavy on that first touch. Ball rolls out. Ball just rolls out for a Minnesota throw. At halftime, the discussion is going to be, how can Sporting Kansas City, one, earn more possession and be on the ball a little bit more in the second half, and two, find their difference makers. Uteritz has had very little of the ball today. Ortiz flipping it over the top, and Padelford just in front of Gambale. How can Ortiz find himself on the ball a little bit more? Those are the two players, not only just in this match, but throughout the season, have shown the ability to create for others as well as create for themselves. Ortiz cannot slip the ball through. And Uteritz and Cristiano just not on the same page. That's been a little bit of what we've seen today from Kansas City. But still plenty of time. They've already shown their ability to come from behind. Going back to last match. This is the team in Minnesota that is playing with a lot of confidence. Much older than last season. And Padelford dumps this ball in. Masanvi trying to win the race, but he does not. And he's not happy that there was a foul called on him. Just trying to be aggressive and get to the ball first. Older players like Kieran Chandler, Logan Dorsey. Those are the type of players, DJ Taylor, all who have added a different wrinkle to this team. LaRoe. Now a nice back heel from Ariano. Ortiz has Ariano off his right side. Gumbale ends up with a chance, and his shot is wide. So Ortiz tried to thread the needle, but he had Ariano in open space, who could have played an easier ball in or sent the ball goalward himself. Kansas City with the throw, but right into Kingi. Shantrich switches the point of attack. Samways right around Chandler. The cross. Oh, it's an own goal. Kingi right into the back of the net, and Kansas City will take it. As this ball comes out wide and the point of attack was shipped, this is all Anthony Samways as he gets around Chandler, centers the ball, and you see the tap. Kisa Kingi right into the back of his own net. And after what was a pretty much pristine half from Minnesota, a poor mistake in the 45th minute gives Kansas City a lifeline as we have drawn level 1-1. And LaRoe, oh wow! A gift given back to Minnesota, and a goal for the Loons gives them the lead once again.
The fourth official has indicated there will be a minimum of 2 minutes of added time in the first half. 2 minutes.
This ball was in no man's land. LaRoe heads it over the goalkeeper coming out, and the easiest goal of the season for Logan Dorsey. And just as Kansas City had found their lifeline, a disconnect between Sheway and LaRoe. The fourth official announcing a minimum of 2 minutes of added time. This ball comes out wide. Ortiz racing for it. And Ortiz was waiting for the contact. And there was nothing that was deemed out of order. What an unlikely end to the first half. Minnesota with an own goal, and Kansas City with what almost amounts to an own goal. Logan Dorsey will take the credit for the finish, but LaRoe right over his goalkeeper. And Dorsey, a true number 9, Johnny on the spot, tapped it in for his second goal in as many matches. Masanvi trying to add to the Minnesota total. Works back to Padelford. Last action of this first half. Fisher. Padelford. Now the ball comes into the substitute Martinez as Minnesota continues to massage this defense of Kansas City. Masanvi to Martinez. Centrally now. Taylor. The ball ends up with Chandler. He controls inside the box, flips it back in, and another goal for Minnesota. It's Darius Randall.
Minnesota goal scored by number 98, Darius Randall.
Darius Randall, he scores his second goal in as many matches. And for DJ Taylor, as he sends this ball across, Chandler does the right thing, controls it, puts it back into a dangerous area, and Darius Randall, a clean header right past Ryan Shayway. And in what was a very calm half through about 40 minutes, has erupted in goals. And Minnesota now has a 3-1 lead on top of Kansas City. And Kansas City finds themselves down by 2 goals for the second match in a row. So an unlikely end to the half. It was 1-0 going into the 42nd minute, but Kansas City gets a goal as Minnesota played it into the back of its own net, and then the Loons find 2 in what amounted to a matter of moments. As we go to break, take another sneak peek of our all-access piece on the 2024 MLS Next Pro Cup Final, out now.
Welcome to the 2024 MLS Next Pro Pick Your Opponent, or PYO as the kids are calling it. To be able to pick your opponent, if you finish at the top of your conference, you should have that right. And we're giving those teams here that exactly. We now turn the page to Philadelphia Union 2. Who is going to be your selection?
We wanted to pick someone that our fans love to hate and could get behind the game, but unfortunately Red Bull wasn't available for this call, so we went with New York City FC.
The #1 overall seed North Texas would surprise us by not selecting a conventional pick.
Vancouver has been a very good season. They play really well, but we want to try ourselves.
It is time to kick off the 2024 MLS Next Pro playoffs. We start today with the conference quarterfinals in the Eastern Conference.
We welcome you to the Western Conference playoffs in MLS Next Pro.
The Eastern Conference quarterfinals continue.
The stage is set for the postseason. A terrific matchup on hand today.
If I got it, then I bought it. Take a bite, cause I want it. And I know I got the taste for the cake. And I take what I make and I flaunt it, flaunt it. Got diamonds on my necklace. I live how I like. So looks is getting reckless. I'm feeling myself and you can't break my vibe. I'm feeling myself and you can't break my vibe. You can't break my vibe. You can't break my vibe.
Action.
practice. I'm hanging on like a fridge to a magnet. It's a jigsaw with all the right pieces. You and me, we go good together. You and I go good together. You and I, we go good together. We go good together.
Should be a fun season of MLS Next Pro.
Highlights and stats are coming up later in halftime, but first, it's Women's History Month, so we take you to Chattanooga, Tennessee to meet some of the amazing women who work in MLS Next Pro.
Mariah Bernanke. I am the Director of Sports Medicine at Chattanooga FC. I am also the head athletic trainer and physical therapist with the first team.
My name is Melanie Schaefer, and I'm an assistant athletic trainer here at CFC.
I started out in performing arts, being an athletic trainer for an off-Broadway show, so I was working with professional dancers and actors, and then really enjoyed that job. Noticed things in my repertoire when I was treating and evaluating where I wanted to improve, and when COVID hit, I lost my job and I realized that was probably a good time to look into some continuing education. Decided on physical therapy school, went to University of Delaware, and then once I graduated, in that time, I did an internship at Notre Dame where I worked with their women's soccer and men's lacrosse teams, and once I graduated, I landed a spot here at CFC.
My path kind of starts a bit ago in 2017 whenever I was still in college. I had an intern class my senior year with an athletic trainer, and little did I know he was actually the head AT for CFC, and I pretty much told him like how much I love soccer, and I was obviously interested in athletic training, so he invited me to work with him over the summer after I graduated, and that's kind of where I developed my love for CFC and just the passion that a lot of people have for Chattanooga FC, and the care and the family-orientedness of the club.
Since I've been here at Chattanooga, this role has grown in that I oversee not just the first team, but the other teams that we have had and that we're going to have. So I oversee the athletic trainer on the women's team, and then I'm also going to oversee the athletic trainer with MLS Next, our academy that we will be growing. It's a lot of growth for me as far as managing and leading other people. I want to be someone that's inspiring and understanding and supportive of the people that are under me and that I'm supervising, but also encourage them to grow. So that has been, for me, my area of growth since I've been here. The connections you get to make with the players, being someone that gets to see them day to day, check in on how their day before was, but also how their body is and how they are mentally, and then getting to be with them in sometimes the toughest times of the season when they're going through an injury, but then also the most exciting times of the season when they're making it back on the field.
This year we were able to get a lot of new data collecting equipment, and I haven't really been around a lot of that. So as an athletic trainer, being able to take the time to learn these tools, how do we apply them to the guys, how do we use them in our rehab, that's been super fun, and I'm looking forward to learning more this year.
visibility is huge, seeing more women doing it, but I think if we're going all the way back to young children, so elementary, middle school, high school, getting more women involved in STEM is, I think, where we need to start for athletic training and physical therapy, and just educating on the opportunities, because it's, how's a child going to know that they're interested in something that they don't know about, that they don't know is out there to get involved in.
My mom worked in the healthcare field, so I grew up around it, so to me that was normal, whereas I understand that other people, that isn't their norm, but having that opportunity or that vision of being able to see themselves in any career that they choose.
For me, Women's History Month is recognizing people that have had to prove themselves in a field throughout history. And I think that, especially now, I see so many more women represented in sports that it is really encouraging for me, and I hope it's encouraging for other people to know that women have a place in the world of sports. I think one way to recognize women is through equal pay, especially in the sports world, but also through all occupations. If women are doing the same work as men, I think that they should be paid the same.
If I got it, then I bought it. Take a bite, cause I want it. And I know I got the taste for the cake, and I take what I make and I flaunt it, flaunt it. Got diamonds on my necklace, I live how I like. So looks is getting reckless. I'm feeling myself and you can't break my vibe. I'm feeling myself and you can't break my vibe. You can't break my vibe. You can't break my vibe.
Action.
Should be a fun season of MLS Next Pro.
Wins it!
Attracted, I'm hanging on like a fridge to a magnet. It's a jigsaw with all the right pieces. You and me, we go good together. You and I go good together. You and I, we go good together. We go good together.
Hello and welcome back to Children's Mercy Victory Field in Kansas City, Missouri. We're at halftime between Minnesota United FC2 and Sporting Kansas City 2. The Loons in front by 2 goals. And let's take a look at these goals. Early on, it was all Minnesota. They're a squad that wanted to dominate possession, wanted to come out on the front foot. And in the 25th minutes, with an opportunity to pick his head up, Kieran Chandler sends a ball towards the back post. And DJ Taylor heads it for a goal. And then later on in the match, finally with a chance to have some possession, Anthony Samway sends this ball centrally, and you see Kisa Kingi, he sends the ball into his own net. That was an own goal, and Kansas City was on the board. They had drawn level 1-1. And then just moments later, off the restart, you see LaRoe lets this ball bounce and didn't attack it. Guy that did attack it was Logan Dorsey. He took advantage of it and scored his second goal in as many matches. And then as we wound down the first half and Minnesota was looking for more, DJ Taylor sent it across to Kieran Chandler, and Chandler with his second assist of the day, but this time Darius Randall was the beneficiary of the beautiful pass, and Randall made it 3-1, Minnesota in front. Here are the halftime stats. 5 shots on target for Minnesota. Again, they dominated possession, and Kansas City looked like they were okay with playing in a mid to low block and really making things more difficult closing down the space, but time in and time out, the ball found Kieran Chandler, whether it was in transition or whether it was just in the pace of play, and Chandler has played 2 balls in that have found the head of 2 of his teammates, Randall and Taylor, and those were 2 of the 3 goals for Minnesota. And for Kansas City, with limited amount of the ball, haven't really had a chance to create, haven't had a chance to connect passes, and that's going to be something that they'd like to see in this second half, because without possession, there will be no way for them to return from being down by 2 goals. We have mentioned it already that a week and a half ago they played the reigning champions North Texas SC down in Arlington at Choctaw Stadium, and they came back in that match from the same score line, scoring 2 goals in the second half and finding the extra point in the shootouts. And for Minnesota, they're a team that's going to want to stay on the front foot. And so this first 15 minutes of the second half is going to be key if Kansas City can draw one back, or if Minnesota can put the hammer down on the road and find more goals. So we'll see what will happen in this second half.
Kickoff is set for 6 p.m. Tickets are available online at SeatGeek.com. Fans, join us for Sporting Kansas City's next MLS home match this Sunday, April 13th for Kids Day, when Sporting KC takes on Short-Lived. Tickets are available online at SeatGeek.com. We'll see you at Children's Mercy Park.
Well, as the teams return to the field of play, already talked about what Kansas City would like to do in this second half in regards to finding more possession, maybe pressing a little bit higher to win the ball back against Minnesota. And as we talk about Minnesota being on the front foot and changing their formation from match 1 to now match 2 and 3 for them, they played a 5-man back line in the first match versus Austin and felt like they really didn't have a lot of movement offensively. They felt that while they did have a strong defensive showing and having the clean sheet versus Austin, who's a team that also likes to kind of sit back in possession and sit back defensively, they felt like they did not really have enough movement off the ball and really didn't create very many chances in that match. And we've seen now in back-to-back matches and changes to the 3-4-3 that allowed for players like DJ Taylor as well as Kieran Chandler, who has the 2 assists, to be more active on the outside. And in that activity, that has allowed them to be difference makers on the pitch. So that is something that this Minnesota side is going to stick with. Another thing that has been key for them has just been continuity. They made just 1 change from last match to this match, and that was Niang, who was coming back off of injury. As we get a chance to take a look at the upcoming schedule, always a fun match between Philadelphia and Atlanta, and other fun matches later on. Derby in Texas on Friday, North Texas SC taking on Austin, and then Huntsville and Crown Legacy, and St. Louis, who is looking just to continue this quick start to the season, will take on Ventura County. Always a tough matchup with Ventura, who likes to really have possession of the ball. They are quick in their passing, quick in their attack. And Aaron Beboot, who is a fantastic goal scorer for Ventura County. That will be fun later on in the weekend. Almost ready for the second half. Minnesota on the road, continuing this road start. They have won their first 2 matches They will have a couple more matches on the road before going home. Two more matches on the road for Minnesota before going home to play North Texas. Kansas City hoping that home can bring about some success right now as we start the second half between Sporting Kansas City 2 and Minnesota United FC2. One substitution from the halftime break. Johan Ortiz is out and David Zavala is in for Sporting Kansas City. Darius Randall on the ball, and he is then shoved off the ball by Pierre Leroux. And Ortiz, who picked up some possession in the first half. Now Zavala, how can he change things and change the tenor of this match? Dorsey makes the undercutting run. Ball comes out to Kolov. Now Martinez. Nice turn from Martinez. Receives it back. Now a real chance. Dorsey right at the goalkeeper, Sheway. Kansas City back in possession. How can they connect a couple of passes? Samways cannot find his way around Padelford, and it will be a throw-in for Minnesota. This ball picks up too much pace. DJ Taylor can't get to it. But for Kansas City, they struggled through the first three matches of the season, scoring goals. They scored just once in 3 league matches and twice in 4 competitions. So, although they put up 3 goals in their last match, it has been tough at times for them offensively. And now a real chance for Logan Dorsey, and he has 2. Off the turnover, Logan Dorsey now has 2 goals on the day, and Minnesota is flying up 4-1. Again, Uteritz could not keep possession, and Randall just stepping in front of Nazi Clark. Dorsey, who led the University of Kentucky in goals last year, he knows what to do when he's in front of goal. And now has 3 goals in the last 2 matches, does Logan Dorsey. And I asked Coach Hall about the talented tandem up front in Loic Massanvi and Logan Dorsey. This team in Minnesota lost its top 2 goal scorers from last season. Patrick Weah is now with with Atlanta. And so there was going to be a need in that department, and Dorsey has filled that need through these first 3 matches. That was the one thing that Kansas City did not want to happen. That first 15 minutes was going to be key. Could they find a goal and find their way back in this match at home? But what they have found is themselves in a deeper hole. To a Minnesota side now will try to not only stay on the front foot, but finish off the match. Still plenty of time for some fireworks, but as mentioned, Kansas City has struggled to score. And their only goal of today was an own goal, a mistake by Minnesota. Uterich tried to play the ball quickly. Play will have to come back. And now Gumbale is on this mistake. He cannot slalom through a defender, and for Uteritz, he gets a piece of Britton Fisher, and that's a foul. Well, 2 of the 4 goals today for Minnesota have been off of unforced errors by Kansas City, and we saw versus Houston in the opening match, poor play from the goalkeeper trying to start the attack, which turned into goals for Houston. We saw last match unforced errors, and that's what found Kansas City down to North Texas. Right now Zavala keeps the ball in. Zavala still with it and then loses possession. That was all ball, so play continues. Zavala behind towards Uteritz. And that's a stop made by Spiel. So we go back to the beginning as Masanvi felt like he was undercut there. There was no whistle, so play continued. And this is Beckham Uteritz. This was right at the goalkeeper. So a corner for Kansas City. Quintero. Now Ariano. And Randall tips that out of play. So a corner coming again for Kansas City. Ariano once again plays this short. Ball comes back to Ariano, dumps it in. As the ball continues to be in the box, Minnesota trying to start a counterattack, and Logan Dorsey is flying forward. Dorsey airmails this over the crossbar as he was looking for the hat trick. And Dorsey had one thing on his mind as he crossed midfield, had Masanvi, and Dorsey shooting, could not keep it below the crossbar. You can see the frustration on the face of Nadi Clark after making the mistake that turned into the 4th goal, and just sending the ball out of play right there. This ball will trickle out. Finishing the point on the unforced errors, and talking with Coach Arbani, he mentioned that those unforced errors are simply not only a parting of the growing pains of a young team, but also from players not concentrating as this ball left. Almost another mistake that turned into an opportunity. But this is Zavala sprinting forward. That will be a foul and a yellow card.
A yellow card caution has been issued to Minnesota number 33, Kieran Chandler, in the 55th minute.
So here, Kieran Chandler racing back, and a tactical foul. He will receive a yellow. Just the growing pains of a young team, trying to make sure those mistakes don't come back to bite them. Two-man wall is set in the 56th minute. Ariano out of play. This portion of the match is presented by Audi, the official luxury vehicle of Sporting Kansas City. Call of Chandler dials this one up towards DJ Taylor. Trying to center the ball. Ends up with Darius Randall, has a goal on the day. Now call of Martinez looking for options. So a couple of substitutions preparing to come on. Carter Dirksen will come on for Nati Clark. A foul on Kinji. Call of in now. This is Randall. Taylor. Kansas City does just well enough to stop that dangerous attack. You can see Minnesota not happy with what the scoreline looks like right now. They're looking for more as they want to shut the door early against Kansas City. Taylor puts this throw-in into the box. Call of steps in front, takes possession back for Minnesota. Cristiano heads it away. And Minnesota back on the ball. Foul on Kansas City as Darius Randall ended up on the pitch. We're in the 60th minute, and Minnesota has scored in the second half. We're leading 3-1 at the break. Now we're up 4-1. But off this turnover, it's going to be a foul on Carter Dirksen. Looked like Sporting Kansas City was off to the races on a 4-on-3. Ball dumped high. Masanvi runs into the defender. That was Davala. And Minnesota preparing to make some substitutions. So Darius Randall, who scored today, will come off, and Logan Dorsey, who has 2 goals, will not have the opportunity to finish off the hat trick, as he will come off. Luke Hilly will come on, and Muba Nori will also come onto the pitch. This portion of the match is presented by Price Chopper, the official grocer partner of Sporting Kansas City. Muba Noor, a fantastic story for Minnesota. Was an open trialist, had a connection to the U15 coach, who was also coaching in the UPSL in Minnesota. Martinez sees Noor, little tap. And the ball back to Gumbale. DJ Taylor tracking back, wins possession for Minnesota. Martinez out wide to Chandler. Headed back by Leroux, only as far as Martinez. Ball slipped to Taylor. He was offside.
Substitution for Sporting Kansas City in the 53rd minute. Leaving the game, number 99, Beckham Uteritz.
So Beckham Uteritz will come off. Meji Alexandre will come on for Kansas City. Mentioned the wind and how it can affect things, as that ball simply just getting caught and not traveling. Minnesota will retain possession, where they've found themselves for a lot of this match. More than 55% of the time they have been on the ball. 10 shots to the 5 of Kansas City. Masanvi. Padelford into call of, now Martinez slips to Masanvi. Takes a ricochet out of play for a corner. Just so much space to operate in the midfield. Call of just dials that up to Martinez. And one pass finds Masanvi ready to shoot. So this will be Kurt Karlov. Plays it short. Now Muba Noor. And his shot is wide of the mark. Foul on Masanvi. Dirksen, the substitute, sprinting forward. And just loses steam as he was nearing the box. Kansas City in danger of dropping to 4-1. Minnesota trying to win its first 3 matches of the season for the first time since 2023. The second time in the past 4 years. DJ Taylor's ball too far. And there's a foul on the substitute, Hilly. Talking with Coach Hall about this fantastic start. He was very honest with the fact that he didn't want his team to get too far out in front of themselves. Understands that although they have won their first 2 matches, there's still 26 matches remaining. And a lot of ground that they have to pick up as they play this remainder of the year. But was honest with just how this has been a great start overall. Carter Dirksen still on it, and he scores. So David Zavala took that ball a long way, and Carter Dirksen decided to take it himself. This is Zavala still with it, and as Dirksen took a nice touch around one defender, set himself up, and he scored. And the score is 4-2. '68th minute. Kansas City has drawn one back. Things picking up in interest now for SKC. Can they find another goal and really put some pressure on Minnesota? This is Padelford. Long throw in, headed away. Now Ariano dumps this over. Zavala can't keep pace. Minnesota throw in. Taylor, deep ball towards Chandler. Chandler is on the end of it. Kieran Chandler sends the ball into the box. Kolov. And now Alexandre comes out of the pack with possession. Dirksen with an excellent idea. Alexandre on the ball. Slipped out wide. Zavala keeps it in play at the touchline. And then the attack fizzles out. Leroux. Samways back to the captain, to Shantrit. Carter Dirksen has entered into this match. Seems like SKC has gone to another level in regards to their intensity. Alexandre stays on the ball. Cristiano is fouled by Noor, and that will be a free kick for Kansas City. And although Minnesota leads by 2 goals, it feels like Kansas City has picked up some momentum. It's palpable in the building. Ball comes back. Ariano shooting. Trying to take Wessel Spiel by surprise. Minnesota will now bring some fresh legs on. William Schmidt will come on for Kurt Karlov, and Anderson Ferris will come on for Devin Padelford, as they will try to finish off this match and earn 3 more points. Off the free kick, Zavala. Ball comes in, a little tap, and it's a chance. Oh! Gumbale was the man that was there to take the shot. But Wessel Spiel with a huge stop. This little flick finds its way through to Gumbale, but Spiel made himself big and blocked the ball away. Kansas City now cooking with a little bit more than gas. Coach Urbani said, although his team was down 2 goals in the last match versus North Texas, I always felt like we were going to come back. Ball sit forward, and Sheway picks this up. This portion of the match is presented by Central Bank, the official checking account partner of Sporting Kansas City and the official jersey front partner of SKC2. Minnesota on the ball right now in the 74th minute. Hilly, the substitute, works back to DJ Taylor. Scored the first goal of the day. Martinez into the box. Had eyes for Hilly, and that's going to be a shove on the newly entered William Schmidt. So just a push from behind as Zavala was starting his race forward. Ball given away. A chance for Minnesota. Hilly, ball slipped to Taylor. Cross comes in, hit first time by Masanvi. Good. 75th minute of action. Minnesota leads 4-2. Both teams have scored in the second half. Carter Dirksen with the goal. And Logan Dorsey scoring for Minnesota. Dirksen for Kansas City. Dirksen has been big since coming on. His action, his attentiveness, his pace, and his agility have all been on full display. What he has provided in the midfield is coming back in support and then starting attacks. You also saw in his goal how he continued to work with Zavala, who was coming forward and just did not give up. The ball will roll out. Nobody there for Kansas City. Next up for Kansas City, they'll play against Tacoma Defiance at home, and then 2 road matches versus Colorado Rapids 2 and Austin FC 2 to round out the month of April. Ball slipped towards Chandler. He's at the end line, but Cristiano heads this away for Kansas City. Now Noor, he and Taylor not on the same page. Gumbale on the ball. Likes to go out a back line. But right there, wins a corner. So Zavala will take this corner, and things could get very interesting depending on the outcome. Zavala sends the ball into the box. It's headed away. Ball returns to Zavala. He's not going by his defender. Throw in for Kansas City. Taylor.
DJ's on it. Out here. Can we find the other side? Fish, where you going?
And now Minnesota has broken through. Slipped out wide. Ball's cut back. And LaRoe does just enough. Alexandre can't keep that ball in. And now in the 80th minute, time starting to dwindle away for Kansas City. Schmidt stopped off. Zavala. Nice change of pace. And Kisa Kingi is held up play. And the training staff will need to come on for him. The hero from match number 1, scoring in added time to give Minnesota his first win of the season. He right now is walking under his own power, but you saw as that ball was coming behind, he was happy to already be there to clear it away. That is calling for a substitution. He will not be able to continue.
Hey, just go to 4. Yeah. Okay. Luis on the left.
See with
Hill. Big Chandler on the back post, Chandler. Yeah, move on the right. He should Chandler. Luis on the left.
Kingy going out.
Here we go, fellas. Here we go.
Minnesota is down to 10 men.
Good, Hilly. Stay home. Stay home.
And Chandler is on the ball. So this is a situation that Minnesota didn't want to find itself in, but they do. Down a man due to injury. And can Kansas City take advantage of this uneven matchup now?
Take care of it. Go move on. Hold it. Good look.
Hilly is thrown down by Gael Quintero.
Substitution for Sporting Kansas City in the 83rd minute, leaving the game, number 44.
So Shane Donovan is coming on and Gael Quintero is coming off.
He's replaced by number 88, Shane Donovan.
These are the problems that Minnesota will have to figure out down the man for the remainder of the match. Due to the injury and all the windows being taken up.
Behind the ball. Behind the ball.
So this ball is dumped over the top. Gumbale ends up with it. Laid off. And Zavala's shot does not beat its defender. And Taylor will clear this away. Donovan looking to go over the top. It's not there. Cristiano. Donovan. Zavala tries to cross the ball. It was blocked away. And a lot of contact. Mubanor on the ball now, 1v2. Noor then pushed off the ball by LaRoe. So Kansas City looking for something here. Gumbale out towards Alexandre. Dirksen is blocked at the near post. Again, the numerical advantage due to the injury. And so Kansas City is trying to exploit that. And Dirksen, with a very tight angle, could not beat Spiel. Now the corner played short. Donovan slicing in, his cross sent back behind for another corner. Another corner for Kansas City. Ball is into the box. Free header for Gumbale, but he could not steer it on frame. Now Cello to Shantrit. Ball comes all the way across, and that will be a penalty. And so it looked like Anderson Ferris had his arm up and will receive a yellow card as he was trying to defend on the line. This ball scurried all the way across the face of goal, right to Ariano, and an obvious penalty with a high hand. Trying to argue that it was an elbow, but the arm was in an unnatural position. And Ferris will receive the yellow card, and it will be a penalty for Kansas City, with a real chance to make this interesting as we near the 90th minute. It will be Ariano from the spot. Ariano is stonewalled. Wow, what a moment for Wessel Spiel, as Ariano had the chance there, and then on the walk up tried to go to the left, and Spiel was there. Donovan is offside, and Minnesota down to 10 men due to the injury, called on to their last man in defense, the goalkeeper. And Wessel Spiel answers the bell. So in the 90th minute, Minnesota still holds a 2-goal lead. Fourth official announcing a minimum of 4 minutes of added time. Ball slipped out wide for Kansas City. Now the turnover. This is Masanvi. And he throttles down. Minnesota just milking the clock now. And those are the moments, those are the tough moments in a match. If you're Sporting Kansas City, you could have put some real pressure on Minnesota. If you could make it a 1-goal game, now with the 4 minutes of added time. But things look much different despite being down to 10 men with a 2-goal lead. Minnesota can now waste the seconds away as they will find themselves 3-0 to start the campaign. Kansas City will have the free kick. As we near 2 minutes of our minimum of 4 gone. Gumbale has his shot blocked. An offside decision. Minnesota, again, will continue to be on the road. They have 2 more road matches before they will go home for their first home match of the season. But they will start the season with 3 straight road wins for Kansas City. They have a match against Tacoma at home on the 23rd of April. And then they will go on the road to take on Colorado and Austin. And a gritty performance late for Minnesota, going down to 10 men and unable to substitute after using all their windows up to this point. And played the final 10 minutes of this match down a man. Cristiano Gumbale was offside. Dirksen was the intended target, and he would have been onside. And again, just a little bit of what we've seen today from SKC. And there's the final whistle. Minnesota defeats Sporting Kansas City 4-2. And Minnesota is now 3-0 for the first time since 2023. Scoring 3 first-half goals, adding some insurance in the second half. And a man that had 2 of those 4 goals on the day, Logan Dorsey. This one was a calm one after the mistake was made by Pierre Leroux. And Dorsey, a pesky goal scorer, pounced on it. You can't make a mistake with him around. And then Dorsey, again, off a miscue, had eyes for goal and finished. And Logan Dorsey is tonight's man of the match. Well, thank you so much for joining us for some action in MLS Next Pro. The final score once again, 4-2 Minnesota on top of Kansas City. Don't forget you can watch MLS Next Pro all season long at MLS Season Pass on Apple TV and MLSNextPro.com with my entire MLS Next Pro broadcast crew. My name is James Hadnot saying so long from Kansas City and have a blessed evening.
This copyrighted broadcast of Major League Soccer may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.